2023 Academy Award nominee Cillian Murphy stars in Red Eye. I'm so happy this film has audio description. It's so funny because I was like, fuck, what am I going to use for Cillian Murphy? What am I going to review of his from his past body of work? Not everything he has audio description. He's been in some small films. And I just reviewed like all of Nolan's films that have audio description earlier this year. So I can't use any of the Dark Knight films. I mean, I literally just did that. And with my whole like Oppenheimer thing, I was on a podcast. We talked about Nolan for like 2 episodes. I was all into Nolan. I can't use that. But I was like, Red Eye. Red Eye. I love this film. It's short, it's quick, it's sweet, and this bitch has got audio description on Paramount Plus. I keep reviewing films that have audio description on Paramount Plus, but you know what? I don't give a shit. This is hashtag winning. The funny thing was, I went through and I used my Roku device and had it search for Cillian, and it brought up his like entire filmography, so I could go through the films and see like where they were offered, where they were streaming with audio description, and some of the other films that I wanted to see didn't have audio description or were streaming on a service that doesn't support audio description. And then I get to Red Eye, which is honestly the film that I was like, if I can't find something else, it's gonna be Red Eye, as long as Red Eye has audio description. Lo and behold, Red Eye, audio description, Paramount Plus. Yes, I just did Robert Downey Jr.'s Tropic Thunder, which was on Paramount Plus. So, you know what? If Paramount Plus wants to win this contest, they can win this contest. I don't care. But this film's got audio description. Directed by Wes Craven, this film stars Rachel McAdams, Cillian Murphy, and Brian Cox. It's a really contained film. It moves along pretty quickly. It's a really simple premise. And I think it's pretty great. I've seen it a bunch of times because it's, again, a short film. So it fits nicely into your schedule when you're like, I want to rewatch something. What do I want to watch? This is about 90 minutes. I can pop this in. Red Eye. I do own this on DVD. I'm sure it doesn't have audio description on DVD, but you never know. I'm sure like 1 out of every 20 of the 1,000 of DVDs that I have has audio description on it. So, yeah, the film is about, for those who don't know, Rachel McAdams plays a woman she's about to get on a plane, and then she meets a charming fellow whose name is very reminiscent of Jack the Ripper, Jack Ribnowski, I don't know, something, Ribner, Jackson Ribner, something like that. Anyway, and they acknowledge and they joke about it. And he's like, yeah, I don't go by Jack because Jackson, because Jack Ribner. And then she's like, oh, your parents, why'd they do that to you? He's like, I don't know. But it's, it's just another clue for the audience. Which actually I realize is not that, this isn't trying to hide anything from you, which is kind of a shame because a lot of it comes in the plot twist, but they kind of reveal the hand a little bit earlier than I remembered them revealing the hand, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, so he charms her and they become sort of friends. And then, oh, what a coinky dink. They're sitting next to each other on the plane. Look at that. And it's up to, they get up into the air, and Jackson suddenly reveals why he's really there. He wants her to help his people who have hired him to assassinate someone. Oh shit. Well, Rachel McAdams, Academy Award nominee Rachel McAdams, who should have been Academy Award nominee this year for Are You Afraid? Are you afraid to convince me, Margaret? I'm keeping that. That's the best title I've ever fucked up. Are you afraid, God? It's me, Margaret. Coming soon to theaters, starring Liam Neeson. Oh, God. Um, yeah, she should have gotten an Oscar nomination for that and didn't this year, sadly. Yes, I do believe over people who are currently nominated, I would swap out Rachel McAdams. Hot take. I'm not going to name them. I won't be that rude in this review. I would in real life, but not in this review. Anyway, so yes, Rachel now has a dilemma, and the motivation is Jackson has a colleague that is awaiting the phone call who is camped outside her dad's house. And if she doesn't do what he says, her dad, played by Brian Cox, is going to die. Now, Red Eye begins. Again, directed by Wes Craven. So, yeah, Wes Craven. I love the fact that Wes Craven went with a straight thriller here. This one's rated PG-13. So if you were like, oh, it's a Wes Craven movie, I don't like scary movies or gory. This is PG-13. This is basically just a thriller on a plane. You've seen versions of this before. You'll be fine. No, there aren't jump scares, anything like that. It's just a really well done thriller with dialogue that bounces back and forth between these two. Cillian has to be both charming and menacing at the same time. So he smiles, he grins, and then says, really devilish things. And because there are other people around, there are passengers on the plane, there are flight attendants, and he's constantly reminding her, don't you dare, just smile, your dad's life depends on it. He's so good in this film. I think this was really the first film that I actually acknowledged the potential of Cillian Murphy, but as an actor. It's easy. It's interesting. It's fun sometimes to play a Bat villain, right? But then something like this comes along, which was basically the same time as Batman Begins, and you get to see somebody who plays a freakishly evil character, but not in Gotham, just in real life. Like this could happen in real life. And that's what's frightening about it. And Rachel does a really great job of reacting to everything. Cillian is deceptively evil, and I love it. And Brian Cox comes in clutch because he's Brian Cox, and I love Brian Cox. My favorite actor. Please, can we nominate him for an Oscar? He's the one person everybody's like, oh my God, America Ferrera, I'm so happy. Hashtag Honduras. Or, oh my God, Emily Blunt finally got a nomination. Oh my God. And I'm like, Brian Cox has never been nominated for an Oscar. Just a thought. Food for thought for all you people out there who are just happy that your person got a nomination without actually asking yourself, is this the right film for them to be nominated for? Yes. Brian Cox, I should be nominated for anything at this point. I really don't care. Next film he's in, nominate him. I don't care what it is. Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, done. And yes, I absolutely want that to be the review for Robert De Niro. I just don't know if I can find that for audio description. I'm trying. Anyway, yes. So, yeah, I think he's one of the greatest actors working. So, he doesn't do a lot here, admittedly, but he does have some stuff, and he has some dialogue, and he has a moment, and it all works out. So, I'm glad that he was brought into this. This is sort of like mid-2000s where he was still just doing his usual supporting actor, character actor stuff. He was bouncing around between being Stryker in X2 to, I don't know, Running with Scissors. What else was he doing around this time? Zodiac, I think he was in that adaptation. He just kind of popped up in things. So he popped up in Red Eye. Wes Craven was like, "Hey, Brian, want to do this. Cool. Around the same time, he also ends up also starring in another film, but this one's just called Red without the I. If you haven't seen Red, it's fantastic. It's like a revenge thriller before revenge thrillers just really caught on as a thing. He plays a man whose dog is killed, and he seeks revenge on those who would dare to kill his dog. And it's glorious, and he's fantastic, and he's the lead. So, rare opportunity for Brian to be a lead. Weird I'm talking that much about Brian in this video, but there are only 3 people really to talk about in this film. There's like a subplot where they kind of run around a hotel for a little bit, and there are a couple characters that run around the hotel, but let's face it, you're focused on Cillian and Rachel. And I'm focused on Cillian for purposes of this video. Do I think he's grown since Oppenheimer? Absolutely, because Oppenheimer just takes him in a completely different direction. He's a lot more restrained, and he has to carry the whole damn film. He has a massive ensemble behind him, but he is the title character. He is Oppenheimer. He is J. Robert Oppenheimer, and there's something to be said for that. So I'm glad that he's an Oscar nominee now, and he can call that to his name. But if you want to watch something really interesting of his from the past and you haven't seen Red Eye, I highly recommend Red Eye. As a matter of fact, I'm so happy it has audio description because I'm able to slap a grade on this and call it a day and just be like, yeah, guys, check this film out. Audio description. If it is what it is, then it is what it is. That's what I doesn't make any sense. It's weird. I haven't seen Red Eye in a while, so I remember the plot, but I don't remember certain shots. And there was sort of like a score that accompanied certain things, but the audio description does kind of point out a couple things that reveal the hand a little bit earlier than when Jackson flat out says where he is. And I kind of would wish for that to have been later, so that, you know, but at that point, it's one of the reasons why I felt like I could go ahead and tell you what the film was about. I feel like they were just like, well, everybody sees the movie poster, or everybody has seen the trailer by this point and knows what's up. It'd be a great film that if Craven had just made a couple different directorial choices and then nobody knew anything about it, to just go. But unfortunately, yeah, before he gets on the plane, a couple little things that Cillian does that are highly suspect that make you go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And the audio description points them out. And without being able to, you know, reactivate my vision to be able to see like how pronounced those moments are, I did notice that at least one of them was followed by a sort of the score getting like really serious out of nowhere. Just like he's just like walking away and he's like, it's like, oh, that's ominous. Way before we needed it to be. But yeah, I highly recommend Red Eye. I think even with you knowing how it is, the way that it plays out and what Craven does with it, and it moves. It's rapid fire. This is a short film. They get a lot done. He doesn't waste any time. He uses all of it. And I love Red Eye. I'm giving it an A. So this is I don't know, 4th or 5th viewing for me, somewhere around in there. So I've definitely seen this film a couple times. Anyway, it's on Paramount Plus with audio description, which means that Paramount Plus didn't let me watch the credits, so I don't know who did the audio description. But you can possibly go to the adna.org when you have questions like that, and you can search for films and see who does the narration on them. You can also go to the audio description project, adp.azb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. You can also go to my website, macmovieguy.com, and follow me on X, Threads, or Instagram at macmovieguy, and also subscribe. That's it for me today. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.